When can we actually build insula? If we have 300 peregrini. Okay. We can't build because we need more bricks. Oh, no, we've got bricks. So we can build again. You know what? We are going to build again. Let us build some houses. We can build 2... Oh, no, we can't. We don't have bricks for that. Oh, goodness. Okay, but we should be able to get some money. You know what? We're going to place that there and there. That is what we are going to do. Extra income. Because income is very, very important. You can't have a town if there's no income. How are things looking over here? Oh, yes. This wood. These guys. Choose. I think we should be able to. Yeah, there we go. Take wood over there, please. Oh, we've got 71% of the wood storage full. That is marvelous. Oh, that is not bad at all. Okay, time for some more hot chocolate. I think we've got more bricks coming in. Everything is looking alright, looking alright. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the value of conserving areas like this. Because, I mean, this is a big chunk of land that we are not developing. I mean, first of all, obviously, we don't want to build in floodplains or areas where there are wetlands. Number of reasons you don't want to build here. So, from an ecological point of view, you don't want to build here because these are wetland areas, and wetland areas are extremely important. Nowadays, what is happening is a lot of wetlands are being destroyed. Mainly the peat is actually being mined, and peat is this dark, dark, dark soil that develops in anaerobic conditions. In conditions underwater where there is no oxygen. So plant matter falls into the wetlands, sinks to the bottom, and it starts decomposing. But at the bottom there's not a lot of oxygen, or very little oxygen. So for the decomposition there is no oxygen to use, and normally decomposers use oxygen during decomposition. And in the absence of oxygen, that decomposition happens very, very slowly, and it forms these chunks of, or this thick layer of peat, this blackish mud-like substance. And there's a lot of carbon locked away in that peat there. If we now go and mine the peat, we bring it to the surface, suddenly, I mean, when it was anaerobically decomposed, it was not decomposed completely. There's a lot of organic matter still there. If you now bring that peat up to the surface by either draining the wetland to actually build there, or by mining the peat, that peat now comes into contact with oxygen. And now it starts breaking down further, and now a lot of carbon is actually released into the atmosphere. So nowadays, the draining of wetlands and the mining of peat, it is contributing to carbon being released into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change and all those wonderful, horrible stuff that is happening. Not enough scriptoria. Yes, I am aware. I'm going to quickly address that. We need 3 more. Okay, 3 more, and then I'll I'll go back to why wetland areas are important to not destroy. So let us just go for this one. I can't place that like that. Oh, I can place it like this. That is marvelous. Okay. I think we needed 3. Okay. So that's the first thing. You don't want to mine the peat here or expose the peat that is in the wetland here to oxygen because you don't want it breaking down further. Secondly, all these wetlands are fulfilling extremely important roles. It's starting to rain, which is amazing because the wetlands here will act as a flood barrier. So as the rivers, for example, flow into, or streams flow into a wetland area, it holds the water for a little bit longer, preventing downstream flooding. Also purifies the water so that the water is cleaner going out. Heavy metals and stuff like that will bind to the peat, and that reduces heavy metals further down along the stream. So wetlands extremely important for that as well. Obviously important habitat for fish and frogs and birds and water plants and all these lovely things as well. But one more important thing one important reason you also don't want to build here is because the wetlands, of course, and you can imagine when it is wet, it's going to be very difficult to build there. So you can build there in the dry season if there is no water, all great, and then it rains and your houses flood and your houses start sinking and all those horrible things start happening. It's a logistical nightmare. So for ecological purposes, we are not building here. But even if you didn't look at it from an ecological point of view and just from a civil engineering point of view, you wouldn't want to build there. That's not a great idea. So we are going to not build there. We'll get back to why this area is actually important, or why it's important to have conservation areas in cities in a bit as well. For now, I just want to quickly check how our brick production is coming along. Okay, brick storage 90%. Yeah, it's coming along. We don't have any wood. We don't have any Oh, we don't have any clay because, yeah, of course, we're not producing any clay whatsoever. Ah, that's why. I remember now. We wanted to get more slaves. How many did we need? We needed, I think, 10. Production, bricks. It was this one. Oh, one more. We needed one more slave. There we go. And then we can grab our brick over here, clay pit, plop that down right over here, right over there. And now we should be able to actually finally start producing bricks. Ah, my word, that took forever. I just want to quickly also check Vesuvius. Where are you? You can just quickly check here what's going on here. I do want to see, is this the only area we can harvest timber over here and here? We're not going to, in any case, harvest any timber there, and we can't harvest timber over here either. Okay, just good to know, good to know. Okay, Vesuvius also just quickly, or Vitruvius, not Vesuvius. Vesuvius was a mountain, a volcano. Vitruvius, just quickly come and check here. Anything useful there? Doesn't look like it. No fishing we can do there. Good to know. Okay, so now, just quickly check. We've got enough scriptoria. I wanted to see... Okay, we can still build 2 houses that we can still build. How is our water supply looking? Where are the wells? There should be a well over here somewhere. There's the well. Okay, so we can build a house over there and here, and it will all be fine. So we are going to do that. Houses. Simple houses. 6 by 3. Have we got... Yeah, we've got enough bricks to do that to this side. And I think one to this side as well. And then we can also just, again, have some gardens. Plop down a nice garden like that. And I think we're going to have another nice one like this. And another nice one. We're going for variety again. As always, we're going for lots and lots and lots of variety. Variety is the spice of life. Okay. I do want to check, can we actually expand our market to this side still? Or have I now kind of screwed us over there? Trade, market. Okay, we can build another one on this side as well. Okay, great. So we should be able to build a market over here. Great. Didn't want to completely mess it up. Because, yeah, I did already kind of build a farmland over here where I wanted to build my market. But you know what? That is alright. That is perfectly fine. Ah, it is winter. Winter is coming. We've got a bit of food stored away. We're going to use 22 food per week. You know what? We've got more than enough food stored away. That is perfectly fine. This guy is still waiting to be trained. Okay, come on. You've got to come back soon. Training should be done soon enough. Yeah, the toll house is still doing its thing. This one, okay, finally there's firewood there. And these guys are, I guess, kind of doing something. REI-wise, sure, yeah, about 100 more income than expensive. That is absolutely brilliant. Okay, we do need a bit more of an arena. And technically we need a theater as well. So let's have a look here. In terms of the theater, small wood theater. Just keeping in mind that we don't want to build really within our radius. We're going to place the theater right here by the timber production. And we're going to say that at night the theater is busy. And during the daytime the timber is being produced. Okay, so let's just plop this down over here. That should be fine. That should make the Peregrini quite happy. They're already 85% happiness. That is absolutely marvelous. Great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, again, just want to quickly check messages. Everything. Yeah, everything looks fine. There we go. Alright, so while we're waiting for winter to pass and for our engineer to come back so that we can actually see how much food we now will be producing, if we look at why we want to conserve this area, why is a conservation area important? Now, first of all, for me as an ecologist, it is incredibly important to have some area set apart for nature. And unfortunately, towns and cities very rarely have that outlook. Yes, some, towns and cities will have parks, but parks are usually just a big lawn with perhaps 1 or 2 trees dotted through the area. Very rarely is it actually really useful from an ecological point of view. The lawns are constantly cut. Any flowers like dandelions and so that maybe have been of use to pollinators are cut or mowed along with the grass. So very rarely is it really of much use as conservation areas or for conservation. But if you're looking at why we want to conserve this area, yes, we've got floodplains, first of all, or wetland areas over here. That's important to conserve for all the ecological reasons. But if we're looking at this landscape here, this little hill over here, yes, we can develop this area, but it will very often expose the soil over there to raindrops splashing down and rain running down the hill, eroding it, which may cause landslides, which may cause the houses to fall down, all kinds of bad stuff happening. I don't want to build on a hill. But if we now leave this area undeveloped and we develop all around here, regardless of the wetlands, let's say there were no wetlands, if we develop all around here, this becomes a little island in a developed landscape. And this little island will not be able to sustain nature in great diversity. Yes, there will be some plants and animals that survive there, but really it won't be a lot. You would have much more diversity if this little island over here is actually connected to a larger piece of natural area. So by leaving this area undeveloped, we are allowing animals and plants to move through this area. Yes, the plants won't get up and walk through this area, but their seeds will be dispersed because animals and birds, animals like mammals and birds will move through this area, and with that movement they will bring seeds from this forest area to this little island area over here, this little hill area over here. So you've got the genetics moving, you've got seeds moving across, new individuals being able to establish here to replace dead ones and dying ones and stuff like that. You'll have the system working. You can only have that if you've got this area undeveloped and this little hill connected to the woodland landscape over there. Alright, I did see the pop-up. We do need more market stalls. Yes, indeed. So let us go for trade. Oh, there we go. Okay, trade. Market. Just want to quickly check. I don't think it's this one. No, it's not this one. It is the left. Okay, this could work, but you know what? We can actually have the middle piece. There we go. That. And then we can have this one at the end. And it's going to be a very nice little market area over there. Alright, that should be enough at least for quite a while. In terms of this, 100% satisfaction. Can you believe that? That is absolutely marvelous. Okay, how are things looking in terms of bricks? Yeah, we are fine. In terms of finances, yeah, we are definitely very, very fine. And here we go. Spring is rolling around, so food production should go up again. Wow, we are already on 104 food production, and our engineer is not back yet. So, yeah. I can't wait to see how much we actually get from that. Speaking of which, let's have a look. What else can we get? Let's see. Now, this resource processor, that is quite useful. Let's see. Smallholder, we are getting that. Oh. I thought we sent this guy off to train. We didn't. My word. Why did we not? Okay, now he goes. Off he goes. Finally, I was waiting for Tiberius to come back, but he was never sent off to go study. My word. Alright. Improved firing technology reduces wood consumption in brick kilns by 30%. Well, that is marvelous. So what we are going to do is we're going to hire another engineer. We're going to select him for training, and let's go for that one. Just because we can. Send him off. Okay. 2 engineers. Now that means we should be able to get away with less wood to actually have these kilns fire. Okay. Or these kilns, sorry, this kiln over here, for example, working. Alrighty. Now, let's see. How is our wood production? Yeah, wood storage is looking quite alright. Wood production is carrying on over here. Yeah, indeed. These guys are working. Everything is good. Right, we should be able to... Yeah, we've got enough bricks again. We can actually expand a little bit more. So we're going to... Oh yeah, for a moment I thought we can't build anymore, but we can. We can build another one over here. There we go. And that is going to be it. Then this rest of this area, we will again put market stalls over here as well. That is the idea. Now we should probably start looking at building a road along here. What we are going to do here is very much kind of a clustered development. Relatively high density houses, but with a lot of farmland kind of in between. The idea being that will still be movement of organisms along the little farms here, along the plots, so we're not completely destroying the environment. We are allowing animals to move through the system, but we are not going to build all the way up to here. I think we are going to leave this area relatively... oh, we can't. We can, in any case... We can only build up to here in any case. Okay, we are going to stuff this area, I'm afraid, quite a bit. Okay, good to know, good to know. Okay, we're not going to build beyond this boundary, of course we're not, because we can't. Okay, let's have a look. If we can now build a city street that comes down through this area over here. Unfortunately, yes, we did lose some trees there. Okay. Not sure what this crossing does or what it looks like, but I've never really found the use for the crossing here. I don't know, maybe it looks nice. Never used it. Anyway, maybe it's like a T-junction, I guess it is. Alright. Now, what we can have... We need more simple houses. How many Peregrini can we have? 150. So we're halfway to where we need to be in order to have the insula, to build our first insula. And right up to here, we can build. Okay. Let's build our first one. I think. And we can kind of build it here. Yes, we can plop this down over here. And then I just need to build a little road over here. City street comes off along here. And then we can build our 5x3, I think it was. Yeah, right over there. Alright, and then we can have a teeny tiny little garden in the back there. I think that was a garden. Alright. We do need water for this guy over here. We'll get that in a moment. I just want to quickly check. I think if I put the well over here, that should be fine. Yeah, right over here. Then we can still build a house over here. No worries. Okay, it's important to keep track of where you can and where you cannot build. Here we go, like that. And then, these guys are not going to be very happy because... Let me just get the squeaky chair and reposition myself. Because they're not going to be happy because they're not on one of the main streets. They're not on the Cardo Maximum or the Decumanus Maximus. Or Cardo Maximus or Decumanus Maximus. They're not one of these main roads over here. So they are going to be slightly less happy. In order to help them be a little bit happier, we are going to have to look at some of the other needs. A restaurant may be a good one to look at. So let's see if we can perhaps place down a restaurant. A taberna is a little bit too big to actually plop down here, but we can plop one down over here. The Popina has a much larger radius. Oh, this will be good. I think this will be a good place to plop it. Yeah, let's do that. And then we're going to again plop down some gardens. Always plop down gardens. That's my main objective. If I can, I'm going to jolly well plop down... Oh, we can't plop down that down there. We need a house. This could work. It's a 3x2. This could work. There we go. And then in terms of garden, perhaps a 3x1 over there as well. And then I think big garden, maybe? Yeah, I think so. I think a nice garden. We don't have a 4x2, do we? We've got 4x1s. 4x1 like this, and a 4x1 like this. There we go. And you know what, just because we've got an empty spot over here, let us place down another tree. There we go. It's not much, but it is honest work. Okay, now, food production should really be quite high. 126 food production. And that is without the increase to our food production with our engineer going out to do the work. You guys... Oh, wow, okay, we definitely need to place down more grave sites, so let us... That's under religion, necropolis... Which one will I place? I like this one because... Which one do I like? Look, there are some trees here, that's great. Now we're just going to place those down like that. What is this? This was... I'm trying to figure out what this one was, because this looks quite nice. There's a tree there, there's some nice natural environment. Let's have a look here. Not temple, religion, necropolis. Not this normal one. Could be this one. Yeah, there's this one. There is a nice cypress tree over there. Okay, there we go. Plop it down. It's quite raised, but oh, that's right. Let's leave it as that. That is going to hopefully keep our people happy in terms of... Yeah, there we go. Enough graves. Enough food stalls connected to a road. Now, let's quickly have a look. You guys... Wow. 100% happiness. I'm pleasantly surprised. They're not on the main road, so no bonus there. But in terms of everything else, they are very happy. Alright, alright. I'm not complaining about that. In terms of bricks, oh, we've got enough to place down another house. I'm really trying to get as many houses as we possibly can down. I'm going to place this one over here, and I'm going to place another... Ah, no. Okay, so he was supposed to complete the firing technology training. Unfortunately, without success, he spent time in taverns and enjoyed himself in lupanage instead of helping the city with his new skills. You naughty, naughty engineer. You know what? Because you did that, I'm going to dismiss you. You are 16, you are irresponsible. Going to hire another one. Yeah, and let us train him. Same training, let's see whether he does his job. Naughty other engineer. Alright, we do need, I think... Yeah, there is a well... Not the well over there, so we need to place a well down. We're just going to, you know, because we can. Ah, there we go. This one, however, Tiberius Gavius has completed the smallholder training, and thanks to Epona, has returned safely to the city. Marvelous. Let's see, how is our food production now? Currently 141 food being produced. I'm not sure whether that is going to now go up or not. We'll see. We'll see in a moment. Okay, this area over here, I do want a nice garden going through. So, I think... should be able to, there we go, have this. We should be able to have... I think that is the one I just looked at. Can have this as well. That's a bit of more cereal land over there. Now what we are going to go for is here are simple houses. I think this is going to give us a nice income over there. And a bit more like that. There we go. Alright, so that should give us a bit more income. How is our finances looking? Oh, absolutely marvelous. That is how that is looking. 582 income, 337 expenses. Oh, marvelous. And our food production, 154. Our warehouses are almost filled. So what I'm going to have to do is actually get our production food. Let's see, can I place down a proper horium? No, we do not have enough bricks. Let's have a look. Trade. foreign trade. We don't have enough Peregrini to make the trade market yet. Okay, we're going to... We need 250. After these ones are filled, we're only on 209. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. We're going to need to place down some more houses over here, I think. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm going to just, again, drink something. I think quite like hot chocolate, even though it is kind of becoming lukewarm chocolate now. I think quite like hot chocolate on a nice Sunday evening. Again, just constantly checking. Yeah, Scriptoria are fine. Okay. We don't have any theater groups or gladiators yet. You know what? Maybe we should go to the... Let's go to the outer world. Let's go see if we can perhaps grab some gladiators and or a theater group. And we can bring them to our city and actually have the have them do their thing to perhaps give us some more renown, our reputation, and also just get our villagers even happier. Perhaps have a festival or two as we go on.